Welcome, this is Runy of Island Wealth channel. And today we're going again on Monday project meetings. We are going to talk about projects, the three things that you need to know if you are a project manager. Why would you want to listen to me? You want to listen to me because I am a seasoned project manager. You will see here what we have been working on. Let me see. This is the project we're going to talk about today. And if you want to believe me, it's because I have been working almost 30 years with projects. I have been creating projects in Excel spreadsheets, Word documents, and the last thing is I have you be using an online project management system. Why would you want to listen to me? Is because on Mondays you can try that system yourself. So I'm going to show you here the system. We have been working on this system, and I'm going right away with the first secret. The first secret that I learned from a project manager in 2000, it was 2000, was you need to have an overview of all your projects. You need to have a system where if I assign you, and I am your steering committee, if I assign you 10 projects, I want to have an overview, one system with all these projects. So why is that important? Why is that important? Imagine we have, you don't do this. Imagine you don't do this, and we have, I ask you about your project, and then you'd say, let me look at this spreadsheet. Let me look at this document. Then it will not make you look good, because you want to have one system with all those projects together so that you can switch from one project to another project to another project. Now, it can be done in a spreadsheet, but you would have filters, because if you have all these projects, tasks in one spreadsheet, you can be filtering on that project. If you have all these projects in different sheets of your workbook, you can be clicking through all those sheets, etc. But if I tell you, give me a dashboard with all these tasks of all the projects, then you cannot give it to me. So if it is in different sheets, if it is in different documents, if it is not collected, not organized correctly, then you're going to have difficulty showing me one overview. So that is very important. Now, let me show you this system. And in this system, which is Monday, where can you get this system? You can get this system by just clicking on bit.ly/Monday meetings, scan this code, and then you can be trying this system for 1 week. After 1 week, if you decide to continue, then you put your credit card in there, and then for a small fee, you can add all your team members to this system. It's on Monday, and then you will also support the show on Mondays if you continue. But you can start today for free. Click on that link, go in there, scan that code, and then you can try it for 1 week. So here you see all the projects that we have. So why is that important? Because I can be having here a different project. You look at that. I can be saying this is a whole program to create a macroeconomic model. So this would be your program, and then every single thing here is a project. Let me move this away. Every single thing is a project, and the that you want to look at is, suppose you say post go live. That's also a project because there are many tasks in there. Suppose you want to say after this thing goes live, post go live, you want to say review the project. Then review, view, project. So you see, I can have all these projects down there, and each project is a design project, test, implement, go live, post. And every phase, every project can have multiple tasks down there. So you see one system with all this information in there, so you can switch easily from one system to the other. So that's the first important thing you should know, and that's the secret. Now the second thing I want to show you, the second secret is consistency. If you have an Excel spreadsheet or a spreadsheet with some of the tasks have a status which is open and closed, someone is in progress, someone is finished. Remember, all these different statuses are not consistent. So one of the second main secret that I learned is that you need to have consistency through all your projects. If you're managing a program with a lot of projects, you need to have consistency, because with consistency comes the third thing, is you need to be able to report. Now let me show you exactly what I mean with consistency. If you have a collection of projects here, and look at the status, and let me open this and look at the statuses. So the status is consistent. So if I click this, you see that all the tasks in this project have two statuses, two potential things. There is no problem, there is no chance for a problem, there is no chance for errors. They have either open or closed. I have been talking about this in previous Monday meetings, if you have been here, because every Monday I'm coming here to discuss with you project managers strategically about your process. Now, I just want to show you basically the main thing that you can be doing. Let me see. Let me show you this again. This is the screen. Again, click on that, scan, click on the bit.ly, and then if you are a project manager, you can just start. So the consistency is very important. Why? Because once I add a task here, if I add another task here, see, imagine there is a new team member, doesn't know anything, and the team member comes from other projects, and they are used to go and say closed, open, or they might be saying in progress. Those are the statuses that they are using. Now, in my project, in our project, they are going to add a task here. They say, let's say a task is design. Design what? Design, create the monetary sheet. Because this is a task for this program. I'm creating a macroeconomic model of the United States. If you're watching the Island Wealth show, you will be seeing this. This is to discuss the global economic system, and the United States macroeconomic model will help you understand what is happening in the United States. with a depth situation, against the bricks, etc. So if this new team member task puts in create monetary system as a task, then they will automatically see it's open or closed. They will try to put another task in there, but they are only available open and closed. You see that? They cannot put in progress or whatever, because the system will not allow them. So this is consistency. In a spreadsheet, you can put anything in there in the status. Let me talk to you. In a spreadsheet, you can be putting anything in there in the status. You can be putting in progress because you're typing it in. So now when you want to report, how are you going to report all the open and the closed tasks? It's not possible. It will cost you a lot of time. So that is the secret number 2. The secret number 2, make sure you have consistency. Going back, why is this consistency important? Now let me show you this. Because when you have a dashboard, and I have already shown you a dashboard, when you have a dashboard here, you will see that you can pick up open and close statuses. Now imagine you're trying to do this in a spreadsheet, then you need to create a pivot graph. I can create those things, and then you will see all those different tasks, statuses in there, and then you will not be able to report. So the project steering committee is behind you asking for a progress report, and you are fiddling, you are measuring, you're messing around with the statuses, and you're trying to go into each task and then change everything. That is the worst nightmare you can have by working in a spreadsheet. You see here, I can create open tasks, and I can go, this is my dashboard, I can go to, let me say, full screen, and I can be going there and say, let me get the split mode, and then let me see the open and the closed tasks. I have one consistent system. So now, because I'm using this system Monday, I have this kind of easy looking at it. You understand? So what did I do? I have the open and the closed, and now I have a split view that gives me all these tasks open and closed, and it is very neat here. Boom, that's done. You will benefit from this. Even here, this open and closed battery, if you have another dashboard item here, you can be looking at this. So this is secret number 2. Make sure you have consistency in your projects. Now the third question, the third secret basically that I have learned during the years is change management. What is change management? Change management is you're going to change something in your project. The change can be, if you're working on software, then the change would be, we are changing the software system. We are changing, if you're working in a hospital, we are changing and bringing in equipment. If you are in real estate, you can say we are changing the color, the paint of the villas that we are building. If you are in, you get a point, right? If you are a macroeconomic model, we are going to change the spreadsheets, the data about the bricks. We are changing the structure of the data about the bricks. Now, if you are managing changes through Excel or a spreadsheet, it's going to cost you, because what are the changes about? How are you going to collect the changes in your team? You understand? I was a unit information manager, and I was also change manager 20 years ago, and I had to build a whole change management system. I was running a lot of projects and I had to build a whole change management system to collect the changes. You need to be, as a project manager, you need to be the president, the chair of the change advisory board. The change advisory board, that is the board where all the changes will come in. So now, how are you going to do that? That's the third secret. And the third secret I'm going to show you, you can do that through a form. In your projects, you need to have a form that every person will enter that form, and every person will enter that form and will that is like the rule. Every person will enter that form, and when they are entering that form, it's going to be a change request, and you will process those change requests right away. How are you going to do that in a spreadsheet? How are you going to request all the changes, to process all the changes while you have a remote team? You could be living in the Caribbean, your projects are in the Caribbean, on St. Martin, on Curacao, on Turks and Caicos. Like I have projects running all over the Caribbean because I'm working with teams all over the Caribbean, government teams, investors teams, etc. And we are managing these projects in this system. Understand? In this work operating system, because this is not a project management system anymore. It is a work operating system. It is how to operate your work. It is a workflow system. And that's why I chose this system and I got educated in it. I passed the exams to be able to process you. If you are a project manager with 15 or more projects like me, and you are starting, you're starting with a portfolio of 15 project members, and you're starting like 5 projects or 1 big project, but you have 15 internal team members in your business, then wait for it, because I have something great for you later on, especially for you. But let me show you how we're going to now create this change management. It's very simple. How are we going to create this change management system now? So we're going back to table. Let's leave the dashboard. And this is a task. This can be a task. And we have all this information from the task, right? The person, the status, due date, budget, link, drop down, budget, time. But now we want to identify that this is a change request. So what do? We are going to enter a new field here, and it's going to be a status field. And we're going to ask this, call this field type, because the type, bear with me, and then in here we're going to enter some statuses. So the type can be, it can be a change request, or it can be basically it can only be a change request. So we say change request, or this is, let me say delete. It's either a change request or it is not change request. Okay, so if something is not a change request, it's automatically gray, and if something is a task is a change request, I'm going to say this is a change request, right? So I have identified here already 2 types of things. There are ordinary tasks coming in, but a task can now become a change request. And then, if it is a change request, I want a description. So I want a description here, and it's going to be basically text, but the text is going to be long text. So I'm looking for more information, and I'm going to say this is a long text. So what did I do? I want to add a field, and the field is going to be a long text, and because then they can type a lot in, and then I say change request description. So if it's a change request, then I want the type to be change request, and then I want it to be a description, and we're going to do that. Now, I also want to have the date in there. I want to have the due date. No, I want to have the impact. If it is a change request, I want to have an impact of the change request. So I'm going to put, I want to have low, medium, or high impact, right? Low, medium, high impact. So I'm going to create another status. And in this status, I'm going to say impact. So change impact. So this field is called change impact. And in here, we're going to say edit the field. And we are going to say if it's high impact, that's red, right? High impact. If it's a low impact, a medium impact is going to be orange, and if it's a low impact is going to be green. But I don't like this. Done. I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to add another label, which is low impact. Okay? So now the only thing I need to do is I need to edit this, and I need to put this low impact there. So what did I do? I automatically created a kind of a tracking system. Low is green, medium is high, medium is orange, and high is red. And I'm going to apply this. So you see here that now I've turned my tasks into a system of change requests. I need a budget for the change request, right? Because how much is the budget of the change request? Because if you're going to change something, you want to see the type, that is a change request. Imagine you are in your project and your change advisory board. Every month, you as a project manager, you got a lot of requests, and you want the change request to be processed through a process. This is a secret, guys. Why is this a secret? Because if you don't have a change request process during your projects, you're going to run incidents from here to there, like all the time. You understand? Believe me, if you are not managing your changes, you are in incident management. And incident management is like going from one nightmare to the other. The last thing we want is we want a budget for the change request. So we're going to add a task here. It needs to be, so what did I do? I just clicked on the add column, and I want a number. I want a number, and the number is going to be change budget. So what do I want here? I want a budget that says if somebody adds something, it needs to be, how much is it going to cost? So let me now try here and just try to add a new change. So I'm going to say change, the change request, I'm going to say change the database of the bricks to add, let me put the bricks in there, the bricks to add new countries, right? So somebody did this. Somebody added this change request. They added it, and they say it's a type change request, because now I can filter Let me just put the thing again there. You can scan this code. Remember bit.ly/Mondays-meetings. You will support the show after 1 week if you decide. It is free right now. And then I say a change request. So give me a change request description. We need to change the whole database so we can add new countries as the BRICS grow. So this is a project that I'm doing. That's why I'm adding this description of this change request. The impact is going to be medium. You see that? And then the budget is going to be, they need $5,000. They need $5,000 for that. That's it. So now I can create a dashboard especially for the change requests. So you see how easily, I just want to tell you, you see how easily we made the third secret, manage your changes through a change request procedure. Did you see how easy we did that? Try to do that in a spreadsheet environment with remote teams. Try to add a new change request procedure for all your projects. It will take you a lot of time. People will ask you, hey, maybe let's create another database. I do not want another database. We do not want that. Why do we do not want that? We want one system and we want everything in that system. So you see, this is the third secret, is manage your changes right away. Now I'm going to give you a bonus. This time I want to give you a bonus. Imagine that you want to have an online form where people can add their change requests. So, for instance, your steering committee, all other people outside your project, you want them to be able to send you change requests. So you are in an organization, maybe you have a team, 15 team members, and there are many, the 15 team members are part of your project team. They are in this system. They are adding teams, adding tasks, etc. Tasks. But imagine you are working in a 200-person online company, and you want to give people a link where they can fill in an online form with all those change requests, and you want to have all these change requests coming in. How do you do that? Let me show you. This is a bonus, especially for you. So what you do is you can also create online forms in this system. I mean, I'm telling you, work operating system. It's not spreadsheets. Get out of spreadsheets if you're managing your project in spreadsheet. It is not Microsoft project. Get out of Microsoft project. But on Mondays, you need to be here because we are working on Monday project meetings. So how do you do that? What you do is you will create a new form. So what you do is you need to create a new form. You go on top there, you say add, and then instead of add, you will say a form. So we are going to create a change management form to accept changes in here. I'm telling you, really. I used to create Microsoft Access databases to manage all my changes in there. It was crazy. But why? Why was it crazy? Because I had to do everything. So what we do is here, I'm going to just change this whole thing, edit this form, and then say this form is called change management. Change management. It's change management, right? This is the name. And then I'm going to check, like, what do I need to add in here? I need to be able to just, the name is important, is the name. The status, open, closed, but I don't want this status, this open, closed, I do not want it to be seen, because open, closed is just my internal thing. So I'm going to say this whole thing, open, closed. I'm going to click here and I'm going to say hide question. You see that? I'm going to hide this question. I'm going to hide this. So what happens is all the fields that we created previously, all these fields will be there so I can pick it up. The status, nobody will see it. The people will see it when they are internally, but they will not see it when they are filling in this form. The due date. Okay, it's okay. This budget is the budget of if it's a task. So I also want this budget to be hidden. Hide the question. Then, because this budget is not the budget, this budget is budget of the task. But this is the type, changes, change request. I want this to be there. And I want this to be mandatory. So I'm going to click here, click on the settings, and I'm saying required. So don't ever fill in this form without the type. Now try to do that in a spreadsheet. It's not going to happen. Making something mandatory. The change request description, I want this to be mandatory. So I'm clicking on the questions, required, it's mandatory. And I'm going to help them here. Please describe your change. Right? So this is going to be showing up in the online form. So they got the type, change request, and now the impact. I want this whole thing to be mandatory, required. And then I want them to say, please describe, please select the impact of your change, because I want everybody to say low, medium, high. Change budget. Okay, good. I want this. This doesn't have to be mandatory, but I want this to be basically, no, I will not make it this mandatory. Okay? And then I will say, let's save this thing. Okay, let me see. This is okay. And then they can submit it. Okay? They can submit it. Then they say thank you. And now we're going to check this. And we're going to check how it looks like. Okay, create an app. Probably this happened because we didn't have we didn't save it, right? Let me see, change management. Right? Did I have everything? Okay, so you need to see some, you need to save it. You need to save the form. and then probably we will be able to see that. So this is basically what we are seeing. Now let me try to make a preview. All right, so this is the preview and this is the form. This is how they will see the form. So I'm saying this form is the name is basically what they need to do. Change the database of the BRICS to include Europe. Somebody wants this change. Let's see. And then no sub-items, due date. Okay, let me show the due date. The due date is going to be, they want this to be done 6. They don't have a link. They don't have a budget. They will select a change request there. They will say, we need to also add Europe to our database because BRICS trades with Europe. Please approve this change. Okay. The impact of the change, they say it's going to be medium. Change budget. Okay, they think it's going to cost $5,000 and then they submit. Boom. Done. Done. We're done. Didn't you see how easy that went? Do you see how easy that went? Now, let me now go back. Let me go back and find out. Let me see. Let me go back and find out where did that thing end up. So if we go and we click on the table, if we click on the form, we will see the form here. If we click on the table on the top, then you will see here that now this change database ended up as a task in here. You see that? Budget for, you have to check that. Change request, we need to add Europe. This is a complete new task that end up $5,000. It just ended up in there. So now I have my change management tool. And if I want the change, if I want this thing to be in the project, I click on the project there, click on the project, and I say this open task, but I only want to see this open tasks, but I want to see it open and close, but I want to see it only for the changes. So what I need to do is I need to duplicate this whole thing. I duplicate this because this is existing. And then I say open tasks, open changes. You see here? So what did I do? I clicked on a normal dashboard item, open and closed. And then I changed it into open changes. And now the only thing I need to do is I need to filter this. I need to filter this through all the things. I need to filter this only for where the status, the change request, let me see, the type, where the type is change request. You see? So what did I do? I First, I created a type and I said it can be a change request. And because of that consistency, that all the changes will have that change request item in there, because of that, I can now use that single status, which is a change request. You see how easy it is when you are consistent. You can, in just 5 minutes, it took me just 5 minutes to make that. So when you are consistent, it will take you less time to just create a whole idea of a change request. You will look good when you look at your steering committee, because now you can say, guys, this Monday I implemented with Runy Calmera of the Island World Nations, I just implemented a change management process and I'm bringing it to the team. So, dear steering committee, changes are very important and we want to manage our changes, because the changes, otherwise we have problems and we will be running incidents. That's why I, the project manager, have implemented a change management process. And the change management process, here you see it on the dashboard. You see exactly, save filters. Dear project manager, dear steering committee, you will see here that we have 2 open changes. And if you want to see them, full screen, split, please see here, these are the 2 change requests that got in. And we know exactly when they got in, and we know their status or not. And we know their impact, medium impact, $5,000. That's it. So let me show you my screen. You will just go and say, let me show it again. You will say, dear steering committee, and you will present this to them, this dashboard. We have open changes, 2 open changes, and let me go here, and then we show you the 2 changes are about this one, changing to add new countries, and changes to Europe. And you see here that it was created, and these change requests, and this is the description, and they have medium. So these are, we have two changes that are $10,000. Do we approve it or not? If we say yes, we will approve it. So you can actually implement the approval system also. Click here, and you can say, afterwards, I want to say these changes, are they approved or not, right? So how do you do that? You just do that by going here, create a status, and then say change approval. And then you would say, this is just edit the statement. This is approved. I would say approve. Or it is denied. And we don't have delete. So this is denied the change, approve the change. Apply. So now, with this change, we can say we're going to approve this change by going to the board, by going to this change, and we are right now in the change advisory board, and then it would be looking like this. Ladies and gentlemen, good day. We have 2 changes here in this month, and I'm going to show you the details of the changes. The details are, these are the two changes. Somebody requested change of the database to BRICS to add new countries, and the change of the database to include Europe. These are open. We can know exactly who they were assigned to, and this change, basically the budget is $5,000. Medium, we have discussed the impact and the request, and what we want to do is we want to approve this. This one is approved, and no, let's deny this. This one is denied, and this one is approved because we think it's a good idea to add that. Boom. There you have it. Right away, you changed, and you are ready with your change. Of course, you will close this change. Full screen. Of course, you will close this after you have had this meeting, right? You close this change, and now you have two changes that has been closed, and one is denied, one is approved. Automatically, the system can send an email to the people who requested it, because that's also possible in the system, and then we're done. Now, that is what you want to see. So I'm going to finish, but before I finish, I want to tell you exactly what we did. 1, consistency, overview of the projects. 3 is we want to collect data about the changes. These are the 3 secrets you should know as a project manager. Now, if you are a project manager that has more than 15 team members, so you are managing a big project, you have to start, and those projects will be starting. So you are not already running the project, and you want to learn. You're open to learn how this is done. You're open to discover what your processes can be, like the change management process that we talked today about. You might be a process discover, like how are you going to manage it? What are the phases of your projects? You want to know what are the critical components of your project. You want to discover what are the problems, what are the critical problems that you will encounter in your project. And you want potentially to run a pilot with me. Then I have something to offer you, because this is unique only for you. It is bit.ly/Monday-senior-project managers. Scan this, and then you will see this online form. This online form, remember, it will ask you a couple of things, and it will ask you also about are you running multiple projects, and if you qualify with 15 or more team members, if you want to qualify, then you can book a spot in my calendar, and I will be meeting with you online and discover your process, your project process. That means, how are you going to do this thing efficiently? And we will run through your process step by step. I will ask you a couple of questions, and then if we match, I will offer you after 1 week to demo you your process automated, a part of your process, the critical part of your process automated in a totally new environment, and then you can see how the thing is working. So you will be sitting here answering questions during 1-2 hours. We will be walking through your process. We will be asking you questions. That's why you need to be able to share with me. It's not a running process already. It's totally new, and we're going to design it, etc. Now, not everybody is going to get the second phase where I show you a demo of your process. Maybe, but the first part is already good because you are going to discover questions how to manage it from a senior project manager like me, right? And if you move to the second phase where I showed you the demo, it's because we match, because I see value in helping you. And then after that, I will ask you, also offer you potentially to work with me during a pilot period. The first part is going to be free, the first one, and that's why I need to step up a little bit and have it only available for people with 15 or more team members internally, people who want to be starting new projects, and people which are senior but they want to learn. So this is what I have to offer. Thank you very much for this episode, for being here on Monday again, and I hope you found value. Why you found value is because you now know the 3 secrets that project managers know. Tell your people to go to bit.ly/Monday-meeting, scan this code and get a free access to this for 1 week. Try it out. And then next Monday, I'll see you again, because I'm continuing this. At least 52 weeks, I want to add value to project managers living on islands, but also living in the United States, living in Europe, living in Saudi Arabia, Middle East, China, wherever you are. That's for this. Thank you very much, and I'm going out. See you next time. All right, so let me show you exactly how we are going to end this show. Let me see.